Alright, we're getting ready to just clean one carpet. And let me get in here and start getting adjusted to the light because it's kind of dark today. And we're going to do this just a slightly different, it's a variation on how we usually do these things. And some of you guys will like it, but I just want to let you know it's something we used to show and we haven't done in a long time. But we're going to show you guys a little trick you can use that may help some of you and you may find it useful. So stay tuned.
You ready?
Yep.
Alright, what we're going to do here is, you've never seen it done, but you're going to. When we started cleaning carpets back in the late 70s, early 80s, we were trained that you get a machine, you get a bucket full of water and chemical, you dip the bonnet in the bucket, throw it on the carpet and clean, and you keep cleaning until it looks like the bonnet's starting to drop a bit, and then you re-dip it and you keep going and going, and that's how we clean carpets. It worked effectively, it was fast. And then they came out with rotary machines that had shampoo tanks on them, and what those did was they would drop feed your water from the tank into the bonnet. Get your bonnet wet. You could, instead of using a bucket, you could use a drop feed system from a solution tank. And what we're doing is we're going to show a variation on that because the bucket method can be kind of messy a little bit because you're stringing water around when you get the bonnet out of it. And if you have a machine like this, you don't have no drop tank, so you're kind of limited. You know, I mean, this is the way you can do it if you want to do the method. And you don't want to use a bucket, and you don't have a machine with a drop tank with a tank on it. This is an old school method. It works just as good as anything new. And the thing is your carpets they dry very fast. Now here's the deal: this carpet's not been pre-sprayed. It's not going to be because we're going to spray the bonnet instead. And we're going to get the bonnet wet, and we're going to clean the carpet with a wet bonnet. And trust us, it works. You don't have to pre-spray your carpets if you do this. You want to get your bonnet fairly wet. And that's what we just did.
And this is with the pre-spray. So you're going to have a cleaning chemical in.
Yeah, you use whatever pre-spray you use.
Yeah.
You just spray it on your bonnet.
Now there's a related technique, which is the wet bonnet method, where you're throwing just a bonnet that's soaked with water down on the carpet that has some pre-spray on it. And you can do that too if you're just going to scrub a lot.
But this is a neat, tidy, clean way to do this.
And one of the reasons you might want to do this is if your sprayer breaks on a job, because that can happen. One of the ways you can finish the job is take the top off your sprayer and just pour a little bit of pre-spray onto your bonnet. Try to do it evenly, so you got to be kind of careful, but you can actually just apply the pre-spray to the bonnet directly.
If you come in closer.
Either by spray, I can't get too close because of the focusing.
But it's taking all the stains out. What you're doing is, you're not pre-spraying the carpet to emulsify the stains, but you don't need to. You just, when you get the wet bonnet on it, the bonnet's got all your chemical in it, so you just kind of, if you see a stained area, you just kind of hover on the stained area a little bit. You get your pre-spray in there, and it just starts taking the stains out. I mean, it works it's perfect. It's a flawless deal.
Yeah, and if you just go, and as long as you're getting stains up and everything, you're fine. But you can always put a little more pre-spray in your bonnet if you need to.
If you think you're starting to, your bonnet's getting a little dry, if you feel that way, you can always stop and get your bonnet wet again and go back to it again. You don't, it's not difficult to figure out. It's very easy, proper technique. We did it for years and years back in the old days. It worked back then, it works now.
Yeah, but if your sprayer breaks down on a job, do not panic, because you could just do this.
Yeah, if your sprayer breaks down on a job, you can always take the spray that's in your sprayer, just pour it directly on your bonnet, and keep working. You can work all day like that. You can work you can work like that your whole life. You never need to own a sprayer if you do this.
And this is a very, very thin bonnet. It's a 14-inch, and and I want to mention the pad driver we're using is the aftermarket one, and that you get from Thibodaux, and I'll put his information in the video's description. and you just contact him by text message at the phone number I'll provide you with. I think it's 512-350-1129. Text message him.
We'll check that when we get the business card in our hand.
I'm pretty sure that's it. I've had to share that so many times, I've pretty much memorized it, but check the description for the actual number, but that's what I remember it being. But he can get you these pads, and they're 14 and 17-inch pads. And we use the 17s quite a bit, but today we're using the 14s because he just sent us a bunch of new ones. And he can get you the pad driver.
Yeah.
But just check the video description for all the info on that. And otherwise, so this is a thin bonnet. We're not using a really thick one. The really thick one is going to probably be easier to saturate it. Yeah.
You just spray them and get them, where they feel like they're fairly wet, and do the whole process with a big, thick microfiber or whatever you want.
Even though these bonnets are thin, they actually absorb a lot. So you can get them pretty wet. And they still work.
And this bonnet will stay wet. I mean, I could do 400 square feet and the bonnet will stay wet.
Yeah, if in doubt, all you got to do is stop your machine and just feel the pad underneath and see if it feels damp to the touch. If it does, you're fine.
Yeah,
it's not going to dry up for a long time.
You can tell that it's wet. You can tell how the carpet lifts that you're cleaning it with a wet bonnet. There's no doubts about it. But this is old school. What we did is we took an old school method and we put our twist on it, which we're spraying the bonnet instead of running it through a drop sprayer, or ducking it in a bucket. But it works just like either of those methods. And
yeah, this is just lightly. You're not really heavily soaking the bonnet. You can, but you don't really have to. Just make sure that it stays damp.
No, we don't ink cap.
It'll work.
But if you want to, you can ink cap with this method. You just put your ink cap solution in the bonnet. It don't matter what you're using to clean with.
No, we don't ink cap. We're bonnet cleaners.
But it'll use any of the cleaning solutions you're into using. Whatever you do, it'll do it.
There's a lot of people that claim to be ink capping. That's just a term they use. They consider bonnet cleaning ink capping.
But this would be, if you had ink cap, you'd be pad capping right now.
Well, it's just a generic term. It's kind of like people, in the UK refer to all vacuum cleaners as hoovers, period. And they say they hoovered their carpet, and they mean they vacuumed their carpet. It's a generic term now, and ink capping has become a generic term. Because we see people all the time ink capping carpets, and they're not using ink cap solutions. So
now this carpet right now, to be honest with you, I won't lie to you.
Show the bonnet when you get.
I will. It's dry. It got clean with dampness.
But the pad's still wet, so you're fine.
Oh yeah, it's safe. The carpet's dry though.
Yeah. We'll see if the lighting is good enough. Hold it up.
There's what the cleaner side looks like, and there's the side that hit the carpet. It transferred dirt.
All right.
It works. It works just like it's supposed to. Now this carpet's royal dry, but if you thought it was wet because you put a lot of water in your bonnet, you can just put a dry bonnet on the machine and run over the area.
And there's I didn't bring an extra pad driver, so there's what the bottom of the pad driver looks like. That's just a whole solid sheet of Velcro, but it's better Velcro than we've found anywhere else.
Oh, but here's the thing to this too. A lot of these slow moisture cleaners, they offer 1 hour dry times and things like that. Nobody offers dry when you leave. This is dry when we leave. It's dry now.
Yeah.
No one offers a service like that, but it's immediate dry. On the spot. There's no waiting.
Well, you could try this. You could try that technique and see how you like it.
Yeah.
Or just wait till you absolutely have to do it someday if your sprayer quits working, because that can happen. And you can do it. You can also there's other ways to do stuff. So we just want to show you this variation on it. And that's basically all for this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Until next time, thanks for watching.